Sri Lanka will call Platinum 1 a landmark. Only 70 will call it home. Because the address and where you live matters. Platinum 1, the finest address in Colombo.
The General Manager of Railways has appointed a 3-member committee to look into the incident where an engine travelled from the Maligawatte railway yard to Ratmalana without being operated by a driver.
General Manager of Railways BAP Aryaratna noted that a great disaster was averted due to the actions taken by responding officials.
The railway control room states that the Y-class railway engine, which was at the Maligawatte railway yard, had begun moving at around 1:45 am when its brakes had failed. The Railways Department points out that although train engines are parked at railway yards, the train engines are not shut down. The department notes that the engine in question was over 50 years old and was used to change the carriages of trains. The engine in question had begun moving when both its driver and assistant had stepped out of it. Railway Superintendent L.A.R. Ratnaika says that the engine had entered the main railway line from the railway yard and had proceeded down the coastal railway line to Ratmalana. The engine had reportedly travelled at a speed of around 10 km per hour. The train that had passed railway stations in Maradana, Fort, Slave Island, Kolpiti, Bambalapitia, Vallavatta, Dehivala and Mount Lavinia was stopped by a team from the Colombo Railway running shed in a location between Mount Lavinia and Ratmalana.
Maligawatten Reduraku නොමැතිව ගමන්ගත් දුම්රිය එන්ජිම මෙම මාර්ගය
The train engine which travelled from Maligawatte without a driver was stopped by railway officials at the 96th signal post. The train engine had passed several railway crossings en route to this location. Officials managed to take the engine along this route to the Ratmalana railway yard.
මෙන්න මේ මාර්ගය ඔස්සේ රත්මලානේ පිහිටි ප්‍රධාන යාන්ත්‍රික ඉංජිනේරු අංගණයට රැගෙන ගියා.
When I came out to have a wash, I saw a train engine moving. I don't know who was inside it.
The engine in question is currently parked at the Ratmalana railway yard. The Railways Department says that no damage was caused to either the train engine or the railway track. Meanwhile, a 3-member committee has begun investigations into the actions of the engine driver and his assistant and on how the train moved from its original location. General Manager of Railways BAP Aryaratna notes that the engine driver and his assistant will remain suspended until the conclusion of this inquiry.
There is a severe collapse in the railway services. Legally, either the engine driver or the assistant should remain with the engine at all times. This should not be looked at as an isolated incident. The Railways Department has transformed into one which acts according to the whims and fancies of certain persons. As a result of this, no one acts responsibly. There is a defect in the Y-class engines, where the engines start to move when the engine oil heats up. Various methods are employed to stop these train engines. Special attention should be focused on the Y-class engines as there is a risk of accidents taking place.
අනතුරුදායක තත්ත්වයක් තියෙන නිසා Y-class සම්බන්ධයෙන් විශේෂ අවධානයක්